I still remember the day I met Emma like it was yesterday. We were both sophomores at Westlake University, sitting across from each other in Professor Mitchell's literature class. She had these captivating green eyes that seemed to dance when she laughed, and hair the color of autumn leaves that she'd twist around her finger when deep in thought. I was smitten from day one, but it took me 3 months to work up the courage to ask her out. 5 years later, and we've been inseparable. Through finals week breakdowns, family tragedies, career changes, and countless midnight pizza runs, Emma has been my rock, and I'd like to think I've been hers. We moved in together last year into a cozy apartment downtown, and I've been secretly saving for a ring, planning to pop the question on our upcoming anniversary trip to the coast. Things would be perfect if not for one persistent shadow in our lives, Olivia. Olivia and Emma have been friends since freshman year, before I came into the picture. Initially, she seemed supportive of our relationship, always joining us for movie nights or weekend brunches. But as our relationship deepened, something in Olivia changed. The subtle eye rolls when I'd hold Emma's hand, the backhanded compliments, the constant texts and calls that always seemed to interrupt our date nights. That's just how Olivia is, Emma would say. She can be intense, but she means well. I wasn't so sure, especially when I overheard Olivia at a party 6 months ago, clearly tipsy, telling Emma she could do so much better and that I was holding her back from experiencing life. Emma defended me, but it planted a seed of tension that only grew with time. Last week, things finally reached a breaking point. I came home early from work to surprise Emma with tickets to see her favorite band, only to find her in tears at our kitchen table, Olivia sitting across from her with a smug expression. "What's going on?" I asked, immediately rushing to Emma's side. Emma wiped her eyes. "Nothing, just girl talk." But Olivia's smirk told a different story. As she gathered her things to leave, she accidentally knocked her phone toward me, screen unlocked. There, clearly visible, was a dating app with my profile on it, a profile I never created. "What the hell is this?" I demanded. Olivia feigned innocence. "Oh, I was just showing Emma what I found. Seems like someone's been keeping options open." After she left, Emma and I had the longest, most painful conversation of our relationship. Olivia had been feeding her little discoveries for months, fabricated texts, manipulated photos, and stories about me flirting with other women. All lies, but crafted well enough to plant doubt. I never fully believed her, Emma admitted. But when someone keeps dropping evidence in your lap, "I'm sorry I didn't come to you sooner." We stayed up all night talking, rebuilding the trust that Olivia had tried so hard to destroy. By morning, we had a plan, one that would finally put an end to Olivia's games, once and for all. The plan was simple. We needed to understand why Olivia was so determined to sabotage us. Emma suggested we invite her to dinner, creating a safe space where we could confront her behavior directly. I was skeptical but agreed, for Emma's sake. I'd try diplomacy first. 2 nights later, our apartment filled with the aroma of Emma's signature lasagna. The doorbell rang at exactly 7. Olivia arrived with an expensive bottle of wine and her usual fake smile, completely unaware that we were onto her schemes. The first hour was painfully awkward. We made small talk about work and mutual friends while I fought to keep my expression neutral. Finally, as we moved to the living room for dessert, Emma took a deep breath and said, "Liv, we need to talk about what's been happening." Olivia's eyes widened momentarily before she composed herself. "What do you mean?" "The dating profile you created to frame me," I said calmly. "The manipulated text messages. The lies about me seeing other women." What happened next surprised us both. Instead of denying everything, Olivia's face crumpled. Real tears, not the calculated ones she'd used to manipulate Emma before, streamed down her face. "I didn't mean for it to go this far," she whispered. Between sobs, the truth came pouring out. Olivia had been in love with Emma since their freshman year, before I entered the picture. She'd never said anything, afraid of rejection and losing their friendship. When Emma and I started dating, she convinced herself it was temporary, that eventually Emma would realize they belonged together. But as our relationship strengthened, Olivia's jealousy and resentment grew. "I kept waiting for him to mess up," she admitted, avoiding my gaze. "When he didn't, I started creating situations." Emma sat in stunned silence. I could see the conflict in her eyes, anger at the betrayal, but also empathy for her oldest friend. "Why didn't you just tell me how you felt?" Emma finally asked. "How could I? You were always so obviously straight. And then you were so happy with him. I thought maybe if you saw his true colors, you'd realize he wasn't right for you. And then maybe you'd see me differently." The room fell silent. Olivia looked utterly defeated, smaller somehow, the weight of her confession diminishing her usual confident presence. "I need some time to process this," Emma said eventually. "I care about you, Liv, but what you did, trying to destroy my relationship with lies. I can't just brush that aside. Olivia nodded, wiping her tears. I understand. I'll go. I'm so sorry to both of you. After she left, Emma collapsed into my arms. I had no idea, she kept saying. All these years. I held her close, relieved that the truth was finally out, but worried about what this meant for Emma's oldest friendship. The next few weeks were quiet. Olivia kept her distance, respecting Emma's request for space. Emma was processing her complicated feelings, betrayal mixed with sadness for what her friend had been silently enduring. I tried to be supportive, assuring Emma that whatever she decided about her friendship with Olivia, I would respect it. Then came the party that changed everything. Olivia's roommate's birthday celebration at a popular downtown bar. We hadn't planned to attend, but a mutual friend convinced Emma it might be a good neutral ground to see Olivia again. We should have known better. The bar was packed when we arrived, music thumping as bodies swayed on the dance floor. Emma squeezed my hand nervously as we scanned the crowd for familiar faces. We found our friend group in a corner booth, but Olivia wasn't among them. She was here earlier, someone told us. Probably at the bar. We decided to stay, keeping our distance while enjoying the night. Emma seemed to relax as the evening progressed, laughing with old friends, and even pulling me onto the dance floor. It felt like the first normal night we'd had in weeks. That's when I spotted Olivia across the room, engaged in what looked like an intense conversation with a tall blonde woman I didn't recognize. Emma followed my gaze and froze. That's Jessica, she whispered. My ex from high school. Before I could respond, Olivia caught sight of us. Something flashed in her eyes. Calculation, perhaps, or desperation. She leaned in close to Jessica, whispering something that made the blonde woman look our way, her expression hardening. We should go, I suggested, but it was too late. Jessica was already making her way toward us, Olivia trailing behind with a look that resembled both triumph and fear. Emma. Jessica's voice was ice. Your friend here was just telling me some interesting things about your boyfriend. Seems like you have a type, cheaters who can't commit. Emma stiffened beside me. Whatever Olivia told you, it's not true. She's been making things up to try to break us up. Jessica looked confused, turning back to Olivia, who had gone pale. You said he was two-timing her, just like I did. That you had proof. The music seemed to fade as all eyes in our circle turned to Olivia. She stood frozen, caught in her own web of lies. But it wasn't just Jessica who had overheard. Emma's entire friend group watched the scene unfold, witnessing Olivia's manipulation exposed in real time. Olivia, how could you? Emma's voice was quiet but steady. Even after our talk? After you promised to stop? Olivia's facade finally crumbled completely. I thought if I could just get Jessica back in the picture, you'd see. See what? Emma interrupted. That you're willing to hurt me repeatedly to get what you want? That's not love, Liv. That's obsession. The silence that followed was deafening. One by one, our friends turned away from Olivia, their expressions ranging from disgust to disappointment. Jessica muttered an apology to Emma before walking away, leaving Olivia standing alone, the center of a circle no one wanted to complete. By Monday, word had spread throughout our social circle. Olivia's reputation was in tatters. She'd built her social life around being Emma's best friend, the trusted confidant everyone came to for advice. Now, she was the manipulator no one trusted. She stopped showing up at group events. Her social media went quiet. Emma, despite everything, worried about her. She made terrible choices, but 5 years of friendship isn't easy to just throw away. 3 months later, Emma received a letter, handwritten, tear-stained in places. Olivia had started therapy, confronting not just her feelings for Emma, but deeper issues of control and insecurity. She didn't ask for forgiveness or friendship, just acknowledged the pain she'd caused. We got married last month at a small ceremony by the lake. Emma looked radiant in her simple white dress, her eyes shining as we exchanged vows. Among the guests, sitting quietly in the back row, was Olivia, invited by Emma as a gesture of closure and healing. After the ceremony, I watched from a distance as they shared a brief, tearful conversation. When Emma returned to my side, she seemed lighter somehow. Karma wasn't about punishment, she told me later. It was about lessons learned and growth. Even for Olivia. I appreciate you watching till the end. Hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more content.